Hey, welcome back to another NHL Week show with the hockey coach, Coach Frenchy, directly for the beautiful country of Thailand. On amazing, great Monday night, October 13, 2025. We just back from the live stream and baseball where the Blue Jays got destroyed for the second game, back-to-back, at this time for the score of 10-3, and now they trail it by 2-0. And the next three games going to be in Seattle and for the stadium of the Mariners. I'm not sure how this series can come back in Toronto. I don't see that, honestly. Decision by the manager is questionable. The bats are off for the Blue Jays, and the pitcher reliever are not good right now. So, look, it is what it is. It's been a good run for the Blue Jays so far, and they wish you the best on that one. 10 game in NHL today, guys. 10. By the way, happy Thanksgiving for all of you Canadian people. Hopefully an amazing, great day with your family. Good food, and enjoy the day to sport around the league with the NFL, NHL, and baseball, MLB. Like I said, 10 game on the program today. Was a great day. 5 game is already over. And now we have 5 more in action. We're going to deliver all the update, what's going on around the league. Tonight, honestly, we talk about the Montreal Canadiens because this is the contract on line Hutson signed today. Was the big news. We did a live stream early this morning after the news. And then we did a baseball. Now we are back with that. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we have the Montreal O's, the home opener night. The Seattle Kraken, Shane Wright is going to be with the team. The Kraken are, I believe, a record of 101. And Mayward, the Wednesday night, I put the Blue Jays right there, but I think it's going to be the Montreal Canadiens. Now, because I gave out baseball, is because it's going to be between the game tomorrow and the game Thursday. And Marco Larrabee is going to come with us talking about the Montreal Canadiens called, of course, the Hump Day show every Wednesday night with Marco. So expect it's going to be that show Wednesday night. We have approximately 8 people to knock the 10,000 subscribers. So thanks all of you to be a part of the show. And a show like tonight with Lane Hutson contract, you cannot have a better co-host to talking about the Montreal Canadiens. Sit at home, patient to be with us. I'm very pleased to welcome him back. Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Mr. Enortap, it looks like it's a black night. Shirt.
Quite a busy day. Quite a busy day today.
Yeah. Black jersey shirt tonight. You and me together. We are on black.
That's it. We didn't coordinate this. We didn't call each other.
I know. But we appreciate for people dress us every day. And we want to thank them to do that. Look like I have some kind of delay, Mr. Enortap, with you right now, so I don't know what's going on, but maybe we're going to fix this the next couple of seconds. Welcome, everybody. Thanks to be a part of the show. Don't forget to click on the like. We appreciate that. We have a few people knock the door. Larry Lavallee back now. Thanks, Larry, for the super chat a bit early. And this game on the baseball, the Minnesota Wild lead right now 3-0 against the Kings. Not looking good for the Kings. David Luttrell is in the house. Welcome back, Mr. David. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. Always a pleasure to see you. Thanks, RJ Carabo back in the house talking about the Blue Jays game and other things going on around the league. Glad to see you, RJ. Billy from Nova Scotia is in the house. Not much of the break for you since now because I had to set up the next live stream. That said, yeah, no break. I'm not going to complaining. I'm going to talk with the Chiefs after the game, but that's on the subject for the time. PLW also back with us. PLW is on the even, Mr. Enortap. Baseball, football, hockey. PL is right now on the even. And when he go to the even, Mr. Enortap, he never forget his ice pack of the beer with him all the way to the top, Mr. Enortap. And he's open up the fridge every inning, Mr. Enortap. He like baseball because he can open up every inning, Mr. Enortap.
I think he likes his beer better, but that's okay. That's all good. It's
Yeah,
all in good
exactly.
cause.
And by the way, this is what win today again, the Ottawa. You're absolutely right, David. Gary Conway knocked the door. Welcome back, Gary. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. And the squad of the tight end, Mr. Roy, is in the house. Welcome back, Roy. Thanks with our Canadian show. Darrell knocked the door also. You've already won the Gem of the Year award. There we go. Rudolph is with us. Rudolph from South America, somewhere, somehow. And then we have to see you in the house and top. Gary Conroy. Everybody is in the house. Thanks to be with our connection. Don't forget, please, to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be great. Subject of the night, Mr. Tap, is about, of course, the new deal for Lane Hutson. That will be the subject of the night. And we're going to go a little bit more deeper about that contract. For this one, we have RJ Calabro, Falcon 28, the Bills 7. Meanwhile, an NHL 10 game in action tonight. We're going to give you all the results. Montreal play tomorrow night, like I mentioned to you. And of course, we have a couple of news around the Montreal Canadiens, not only Lane Hutson, but Martin, so we talk about different things. We're going to bring to you a couple of subjects. Come with the subject of Lane Hutson, the center tap. Montreal play 3 games next week, by the way, at the same time. A2 is in the house. Player congratulating Hutson during the practice was pretty special. And really tell about the chemistry on the team. I agree with you. Eminem also is in the house. Welcome back. Guy back in the house. So, Mr. Tap, let's do. Welcome you. And hopefully you're ready to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. And right away, we have to talk about Mr. Enortap, a Lane Hutson deal, an 8-year deal at 8.85. I want to hear from you your first impression about that deal.
Well, Coach, I mean, what can you say? It's yet another awesome deal for Montreal. I think it's also a solid deal for Hutson, and I'll get into some of the details about that. It's all in the structuring of the contract, right? And I think it character. There was never any doubt that he wanted, obviously, to sign and obviously make this not a distraction for the team, and they finally have done that. And it's he knows for the next 8 years that he doesn't have to worry about what's going on in terms of his own financial situation. I mean, he's covered, and it all fits with what Kent Hughes is trying to do. Like a lot of people are saying, obviously, what a great deal Hughes has pulled off, and it is. I don't want to minimize that, but I think what's at hand that's even bigger is the fact that he's really gotten his players to buy into what they're trying to achieve here in Montreal and keeping them happy, content, and also, ensuring their financial success for many years to come is important. But also selling the fact that there's a direction that the team is going into. It's a direction that the players also buy into in the sense that they see that they could win with the group that they're establishing. What's in the pipe want to win. Of course, they want to, and well, but in the end, they want to win.
Yeah, good comments about the Larry from Lane Hudson's situation. Of course, all you said is really what happening for the Montreal Canadiens. And of course, Lane Hudson brings some kind of dimension at the blue line. Calder Trophy last season, 66 points, 6 goals, 60 assists, tied the most assist rookie since Larry Murphy. Beat all the record for the rookie defenseman with the Montreal Canadiens. He accomplished a lot of things with the Montreal Canadiens. I think this is a smart move from Lane Hudson and the Montreal Canadiens to get that contract. If you look about the contract of Luc Hughes and Jacob Lacombe for the Anaheim Ducks, $9 million. So that reflects a little bit what Lane Hudson got. And look, He's going to be with Montreal for the next 9 years. It's a good deal for the Montreal Canadiens, and that will give better chance for leverage for Ken Hughes to add more people. So I think this is a great things about that for the Montreal Canadiens. Few people knock the door. Thanks so much for your comments about this one. Now, that said, Mr. Enortap, with that contract, Alain Hutson. So you want to share with us what's happening for the Montreal Canadiens? At the same time, I said that, Enortap left the building, so I'm going to go back alone here for a couple of more minutes talking about the Montreal Canadiens with the Alain Hutson contract. For me, we did all the prediction during the summer, since July. We expect $9 million. We compare his contract with Noah Dobson at 9.5. We predict maybe he's going to get a contract around $10 million. Then we have a different conversation left and right at 11 and $12 million. And now he signed a contract at 8.85 for that one. So I think at the end of the day, this is a great question for that. Here we go, Mr. Enortap. We got that graphic for you.
Yeah, no, that's great. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened with the line there, but yeah, the point I was trying to make is when I read this earlier today, it was in the site Joe Fresh Hockey, and what it really does is it shows the cap situation and how Montreal is structured moving forward, and it's solid right now. But when you consider also that the cap growth is going to be happening over the next 2 to 3 years, guaranteed, that it puts them really in a ridiculous situation in terms of the possibilities of what Ken Hughes can do in terms of flexibility. As it stands right now, the names didn't come through on the right there, but they're the contracts for Dobson, Hutson. Of course, it shows them that they're locked up for $47 million from 2026 to 2027, all the way up to 2029, 2030. So by 2030, you can expect that this is going to comprise about 35 to 38% of the salary cap for Montreal, which is fantastic when you're looking at the fact that they're your young core, the ones that are going to be, the team that moves forward in terms of elite players, and it's just it goes hand in hand with what you were saying. I think it was it on the live today, Coach, or you were talking about it on one of your videos in terms of how the structuring of the team is looking in the future, and it's promising, and that's all you want to see. And like I said earlier, I think Hughes has done a magnificent job. Yes, with the contracts, but more so just getting the players to believe in the direction that they're going, and making them buy into the vision that he has for Montreal, and winning a cup, and hopefully in the not too distant future.
Great comments about that for sure. A few people knocked the door. Marco Larabiti, H is in the house. David Consi talking with Billy, Larry Lavallée, Roger Bouchard, welcome back. Yes, Roger, his contract starts only on 26-27 for Alain Hutson. Jerry from Maryland is in the house. So that's happening there. So the graphic, like Enortap said, is all the different long-term contract for the Montreal Canadiens. We got 6 players on that one. They show. Unfortunately, you cannot see the name of the players on the left side, but we talk about Slafkovský, Suzuki, Caufield on that one, and then we talk about Noah Thompson with Alain Hutson with Dobson. That one too. What?
Gooley
and Gaydon Coley is the last one at
and
6.
Gooley as well. So.
Yeah. DD, welcome back in the house. So put this all together. Mark Elliott, welcome back. That gave a long-term situation for Ken Hughes to get a score. Carolina Hurricane are built that way, by the way, with many contract at 6, 7 years, 8 years. And they have other teams. That's what they're focusing. The core, they sign for long term. You're going to add this the next 2 years, even the mid for the Montreal Canadiens. That will give 7. And add that one, Mr. Enortap, Zachary Bolduc. So they have 2 more players going to get there. And then I think at some point you're going to add a defenseman, a goalie on that chart, on that one. So I give 9, 10 players for Montreal Canadiens, guys, to be for long term for the Montreal Canadiens. So this is a way we can use mid-supply. The contract of Lane Hutson is no clause, so we have no protection, whatever it is. And then is a front clause also. I think he got 40 million, 41 million. I could be wrong about the total.
Yeah, his total contract was 70.8 million
Yeah,
over the 8 years.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think at the end it's
Yeah,
pretty
so
good.
the breakdown, and I think this is very important to realize as well. And we knew that this is probably what the catching point was initially, was how to circumvent, I guess, some of the tax situation that it could present. And so, as you said, Coach, it is front loaded. You'll see that what they did is for years 1 and 2, they signed them for $11 million. Well, it's $12 million, but $1 million is the base salary, and then $11 million is the signing salary. Now, the reason for that is because of the fact that in Quebec, I believe the tax there is 53%. So if you had put the entire 12 million all as a base salary, obviously it's not to the benefit of the player. But by putting it down as a signing bonus, they're able to circumvent the tax amount that's levied on that from, I think it's something like 25% down to 13 or 14%. So when you do that over an 8-year period, I mean, that's money that you're putting on the table, and the players saying, okay, well, that and the fact that I like where I am and I like where the team is going makes me want to stay here in Montreal. And that's the key we have to get to here, because if you can
I think Mr. Enortap freeze again.
developing a team.
I think some bad connection, Mr. Enortap, from your part on your side at this moment.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it was freezing before that.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know how much of it you got, but just saying overall that it was a smart way to structure the contract, and that it goes from the first 2 years, the signing bonus is at 11 million, then it goes down to third year 9.5, the fourth year 6.5, the next 2 years after that at 6 million, and the final 2 years I believe are both at 5 million. But the key here to realize as well is the last, I believe, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last 2 or 3 years, a 10 team no trade clause kicks in as well.
But me, from the cap ways, there are no clause in the deal.
That's what I heard today, that the last 3 years he gets a 10 team no trade clause added to his
Now, from
to this
the people
contract.
in the chat, they gave him a deal. So let me check again on the puck bits here. I trust them a little bit better. On the Yes, he have the last 3 years of his contract. He has a
Yeah,
MNTC on his deal. On the last 3
a
years
no
of his
movement
contract.
contract. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
that's give for Lane Hutson's situation with the Montreal Canadiens. Billy is in the house. Bad source coach for that. One thing I would like to stop said is use Flays Hutson. I create a feeling Hutson is Hutson shows what the best for the team. Fielder choice 9-2 from center field, fast to the catcher to nail the third base runner. Here we go. How about that? Center choice 8-2. Here we go. How about that? Look, at the end of the day, guys, you have different things right here. Is Lane Hutson decide to stay with Montreal Canadiens, and I think Montreal offer him the limits of that. I think they put him on the limit. They give him like, this is what we're looking for, and they have negotiation between both of them. Hudson wants to stay in Montreal, and Montreal want to give him the right contract for the right thing for the Montreal. Take a note. The amount is one thing. The percentage is another thing. Right now, it's going to be at 9.67 this season. And then it's going to drop a little bit lower, but it's going to be in front of Suzuki and Caufield on that one. So I think this is a good deal for the Montreal Canadiens. That gave a little bit more leverage, Mr. Enortap, I can use to make some deal. We know the circuit is going increasing next year. And then the following year, And that said, Montreal is going to get an extra $7 million. Now, Montreal two players are going to be out of the line of the contract next year. Mike Madison and Patrick Laine are going to be out of that one. That said,
that's right.
Mr. Tap, I'm going to go bring to you now. During the show this morning, we have a conversation with the people in the chat. They want to talk about Mike Madison. We know it's early in the season. I know where we at, 3 games. But what do you do with Mike Madison? And what kind of contract you can give it to him?
Well, I really like right now the way he's paired up with Dobson. I think the fact that there isn't that onus for him to have to play, anywhere between 25 to 29 minutes a night is to his benefit. I think, he still has very good speed. He can skate very well. I think if they can offer him a contract, and I would not, I would sort of shy away from anything long term, but something like a 4 or 5 year contract would make sense to me. And again, it'll be a player just like everybody else. That does he sell out for money somewhere else, because he probably will get it somewhere else, or does he stay in a place where his family is and he's been with these players and he's grown together with them and wants to continue the journey together? And I think the latter is the case. I think he does want to stay, and I think Montreal will find a spot there. I don't think that they have to worry as much about left and right side, because that'll iron itself out over, I'd say, the next 2 or 3 years. He's 31 right now, Coach, if I'm not mistaken. So if you sign him for about 4 or 5 years, it takes him to about 35, 36 years of age. So I think it would be worthwhile for Montreal to hang on to him, and as long as he continues to play well, especially with Dobson, I really think we found the first pairing that not only works but will be there for a long time.
Great point about that. We have a few people knock the door. Steven knocked the door. Bob Smith is in the house. Bob Smith, welcome back. We have Jeff comments. We have Senderman knock the door also. Thanks, everybody. Now, that said, Marco Larrabee said if you keep Madison, you have to consider to trading Caden Coley.
No, not necessarily. I don't think so. I think what you want to do is definitely solidify your top 4, right? And I think that when you look at Reinbacher, as much as I really like him as a player, and I think his ceiling's very high in terms of what they want to do, but you have to have that insurance in there as well. If you get rid of Gooley, then that puts the onus on Reinbacher to have to fill in the shoes and maintain a top 4 that is solid on the team. Will it present a problem with other players? Obviously, because we have a lot of left-handed defensemen. on the team, and Hutson probably having to play on the right side is not the preferable thing, but I mean he's done it and he can continue doing it until the landscape changes a little bit. But I don't think it puts you in a position to force you to get rid of Gooley. I would not do that. I think we kind of saw in the last couple of games just how valuable Gooley can be for this team, and I think that's there's certain pieces that unless you get a totally absurd offer from a team, that you have to maintain those players.
I would just said something for you guys. For me, Kenny Cooley is the best complete defenseman with the Montreal Canadiens. Like, he's the most complete player for the Montreal Canadiens. And he is the most important player for the Montreal Canadiens, in my opinion. That said, here my prediction for what I expect. They're going to keep Madison. He's going to be 32 years old. Now, some people put 6.75 or $7 million, everything like that. Don't be surprised. He signed a deal below $6 million. Below $6 million. They're going to add Mr. Enortap another 5.5 at 5 years. He's going to be 37 years old. They're going to load the contract at the beginning. They're going to bring that before the new CBA. You cannot do it after the new CBA, by the way. So you can go fill out this contract, and the last 3 years contract at 5.5, it can be traded. It could get maybe $2 million per year, and that would open up that one over there. Me, I expect that. $6 million possible, but you're going to give him an extra year, but not raise over $6 million to have more leverage about that. He deserves $7 million. He deserves like an A2A right, 6.75. I all agree with that. But I think that's going to be a way that can use, not can use, but a way where the Montreal are going to act with Mike Madison. Now, here's the way I see that. Like Marco said, yes, we have to trade Kenan Coley, not at all. Kenan Coley will be a really great complementary to Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson play on the right side. It does not hurt the Montreal Canadiens. He'll open a spot for a player like Mike Madison with the Montreal. He'll open a spot for a Jacky or whoever is going to be that third. Montreal right now have nobody else other Adam Ekstrom. Ekstrom and Rebecca going to be a fight for the sixth spot on the right defenseman. That said, is Alex Carrier is going to be available to be a trade at some point the next 2 years for the Montreal Canadiens if Rebecca develop the way they are thinking. That said, Adam Ekstrom, Strobel, will become good value of the trade at some point. More Adam Ekstrom, I believe. So the Montreal Canadiens are going to hold this really tight that way, in my opinion, for the next couple of years. And that structure, the core of the Montreal Canadiens, Dobson, Madison, Coley, Hutson. Then you have Strobel, or you get Jacky, or you get Engstrom right there. And then you have Rebecca on that side, and then you bring another players on the left to go on that one to cover the 7 defensemen. And that open up more the conversation for that one. Rebecca has to show is healthy and capable to play. I think for me, David Rebecca, Mr. Enortap, is take at least 2 years.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And that's what I was trying to emphasize earlier. Like, you can't rely on something that can happen, right? Like, until it becomes fruition and it happens at an NHL level, you have to obviously try to develop the player. And like you said, I agree, given all his injuries that he's had over the last, I'd say, 2.5 years, different ones, you have to give him the proper time to develop at the AHL. So he's a couple years away. And then even then, you want to make sure that he's starting to develop into what you envisioned from the beginning. Because if that's not the case, and you've traded a Gooley or you traded a Matheson, then that sets you back a bit, right? You're going to either have to go free agency, to try to remedy that problem, because, as you said, there isn't much besides Engstrom that's in the pipeline right now. Down the road, maybe, but right now it's not there.
No, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think for Marco said we are maybe sleeping on Rebecca. It's not sleeping on Rebecca, it's what he is right now. So at
It's
this
being
moment,
cautiously optimistic. It's what
yeah.
it is.
So the point here right now is Engstrom is in front of Rebecca. That's the chart. That's where he is on the depth chart right now. Engstrom is more ready at David Rebecca to play in NHL. That
I
said,
agree.
we have to wait what the development of the Rebecca is going to look like for the next 2 years. But if you have a defenseman to call up, whatever David Rebecca will be healthy, is Adam Ekstrom get the call. No doubt in my mind. More aggressive, better skater for me at this moment. Now, we have to wait, give it a chance for David Rebecca, what you look like in the next. It would be terrible asset management to use Rebecca as a number 6 if you don't believe in him, move him now. But you have no choice. It's like anything
Yeah.
else, right? You have the better players. You have to go with what you have. The talent, developed players are different. And that's, if it's the case, it is what it is. It would be a very bad pick, and it would be happening that way. His value would be lower. But that's, you cannot put him on the different top 4 because he's just
No,
draft 5th. He have to show
he's not ready. He's not ready.
right there.
That would, if you bring him up too early, that's worse asset management in my eyes. You have to bring him up when he's ready, and then make decisions based on that.
Yeah, Pete Martin is in the house. You have to look, yes, Marco, but you cannot thinking next season when Mike Madison is there. Thinking maybe we have to take a chance with Rebecca. No, you lose Mike Madison. You cannot do that. So Rebecca right now is at the bottom. Wait what he look like and see if he's developed properly. You don't remove him of the team. He is right now at 2 years minimum of that part. I don't see yet how physical he's going to be in NHL. This is the biggest problem for me with him. How he's going to handle the physicality and NHL. He did not prove it yet. The talent is there, but he did not prove anything yet. And he did not look good allowed at the preseason and the rookie camp. Like nothing good there. So time for him to go back, reset, and we'll see what's happening. That said, Mr. Enortap, Mike Madison case. Now, you have other situation. Let's go with Zachary Bodzik. Bodzik become RFA next year. Yes, only 1 year, 19 goals, 7 power play goal with the Blues, play with the Montreal Canadiens. He's run out 3 goals. We'll see how many goals he's going to do. We cannot judge him, but I think they're going to wait longer, a little bit more to see Zachary Bodzik. But how much money you think he can get, or how you can sign him?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think uh, a lot of it will rest on what kind of season he has this year. I mean, he's off to a great start, needless to say. But I mean, when you look at forwards that will fit that mold that Bolduc is showing, I mean, you got to be looking at north of $6-7 million, I believe. So I think a lot of the writing starting to come up on the wall in terms of maybe about Line, and maybe that's not happening. They're finding it a hard choice right now where to play him on the team. He's got sometimes he's overqualified, obviously, to be playing on the fourth line and not being surrounded by better players. But by the same token, his 5-on-5 has to improve. It has a little bit this year, but given the fact that he has only 4 shots in 3 games, I mean that's not going to cut it for somebody like that. So it opens up the door for a little bit of better contract for somebody like Bolduc. So I think he's going to be somebody that obviously fits the criteria of the players that we spoke about earlier. Long term, maybe you can get a deal. Like he's happy to be here from all indications, and I think he's yet somebody else that will fall into that same mentality that we're doing this for the team. And if you can structure my contract in the proper fashion, then I'm more than happy to sign for a little bit less than what I would get on the free market. So I think it'll be north of 6 million for sure, especially with the cap going up. Mm, and he's going to be an integral piece for Montreal. I think we're starting to see that. I mentioned that even in the preseason, coach, like it looked like he wasn't doing much, but this guy was digging out pucks. Look at his play. His back check is amazing. He goes into the corners. He digs out that puck. He sets up the other players, and he makes the defense look twice before they make a pass. So, those are the things you need in a forward.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. A lot of conversation in the chat between a lot of people about Rebecca, about Madison, Mr. Enortap. Why not keep Rebecca and have 5 good defensemen plus Jacky and let him drop his glove? I don't think we gave up Rebecca a lot. The situation right there,
No,
guys, is
not that.
about one thing here. Is Madison signed? You wait for Rebecca to develop. It would take 2 years. It's going to be almost the half of the contract of Madison. With that, if now you're going to have 7, maybe 8 great defensemen. For me, if Rebecca is ready, Alex Carrier is going to be 30 years old at that moment, Mr. Tap. And you cannot win a Stanley Cup with 5'10 defensemen or 5'11 defensemen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You already have Lane Hutson. So at some point, if Rebecca is supposed to be what we expect to be, but you trade Alex Carrier with that, keep the spot right there. Lane Hutson, the right defenseman guy, is better at the left defenseman. He proved it last year. It's not a big problem to get Lane Hutson on the right side. Vegas used Theodore Vincent Enortap for years at the right defenseman.
Right.
The Fleur Panthers last year, they used Kulikov, Mikala on the right defenseman. They adjust what they have, and they use the big body. For me, that would be my option for the Montreal Canadiens. Don't take any risk because Rebecca is not ready. Sign Madison, a good deal. Keep him around. You have right now Jacky, Strobel, and Engstrom. If ever you need a deal, you have 3 players, you can make a deal. I don't say trade Jacky. Don't tell things I never said. It's just they have asset in their hands to do something until Rebecca, and then Carrier could be available also for the Montreal Canadiens. So you have Noah Thompson, David Rebecca, and you have Lane Hutson on that side. You have Mike Madison, Caden Coley, and you have Madison. There you go. And then you have Jacky or Strobel or Engstrom on that side. That's really great for me, my option about the defenseman for that. Now, back to Zachary Bolduc, Mr. Tap. Usually, at his age, if he get 25 goals, Mr. Tap, Montreal going to try to get him a 6, 7, 8 years deal. He's only young. He's 21 years old, turned 22.
Yeah.
And when you score a goal, you pay the price. Is it 5 million, 6 million? I don't know. But that would be the price to pay if Zachary Bolduc scored a goal. That brings my next question. I'm going to create a mall here. I don't want to put you on the bad
Middle
hot seat yet. That's not my purpose. But we have to bring that. It's starting to go on the social media. They're starting to talk about this yesterday. This morning on the show, we have a great question. Frédéric Wallet, welcome back, by the way. Patrick Laine. What we do with Patrick Laine? Another UFA like Mike Madison at the end of the year. What do you think the Montreal should do, or what will be his future with the Montreal Canadiens?
I think the better question is how does he fit into Montreal's system? right now. Like if your prime objective is to use him primarily on the power play, I mean that's great. He'll get you to 20 goals. If you're lucky, I think teams are smarter in terms of covering that left side a little bit more. So you know if he's not performing at 5-on-5, he's not fast enough to play on the top two lines, or he's not surrounded by the similar types of players that he needs to feed off of, then where does he fit into the system? It's again, I'm not trying to knock Laney, because I like him and I can appreciate what he brings to the table, especially goal scoring. It's always at a premium, and like you said, you have to pay up for that sometimes. But when you put all the pieces together, somehow this piece doesn't fit, is in my eyes. And so if that's the case, the contract's over. It opens up $8 million plus for the team. And so when we're talking about Zachary Bolduc, there's some extra money to work with in the future. And I think that that's the direction you have to go, unfortunately.
That's a great comment. We welcome Brad Arsenault. Welcome back, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show. We appreciate all of you to be with us tonight. Lanny is done, A2. Brad said Lanny is gone. Marco Lanny is not coming back. Lanny does not fit into the style of play, Billy. Steven, Lanny will likely be gone, but it will depend all on him on that one. Sébastien Olga, only thing Rebecca has to do is to get playing time on the second and third sharing pairing. Too many right shot on the top 9 already. Yes, and I talked about this morning, Mr. Nata, about Patrick Lanny. Look, Cabinet will replace Lanny, Roger.
His presence also, Coach. Sorry to interrupt, but his presence will also probably delay, somebody else coming up and filling that spot, a younger player, right? Because he's a placeholder on the wings. So you got to take that into consideration, especially if others are ready to assume that role.
Yeah, honestly, yes. Sorry about that. Two big collision in the hockey game, Flyers and the Panthers, honestly, happening with them. I want to hear a little bit more of the comments right there. Pete Martin said, we have only 3 games. Let's talk more about all this stuff after 12 games. That's not changed anything, Pete, about 12 or 15 games about Patrick Lanny. What you get for Lanny at the trade deadline, Billy? Lanny is this NHL is a one trick pony. He cannot be at the top 6 player with a center who can set him up. Is useless to us. Dak would be gone too if we only took a 3 game. Pete Martin, agree, David, has been played with l'intérieur de Martin system. You can see is making an effort to play the right way. Can be in the long run replace combo. About some LA and their 5th PK and half of the game is not over yet. The run, welcome back in the house, my friend. Hutson need to line as an option on his left side on the power play right now. Really, Pete, you would not like to keep Doc on the winger. Yes, Marco, those little things. Here we go. Now, I think Lanny, Mr. Enortap, here's the situation. He has all the new things inside of him. Like, he tried to make an effort, he tried to play better, he tried to do the right things, everything. He caught everything. And honestly, you cannot blame Patrick Lanny game so far. You cannot say he's really bad or because of him or whatever it is. Patrick Lanny does the best he can. But he's just on the wrong chair, Mr. Enortap. That's easy. Bob Gainey, Mr. Enortap, one of your favorite players, did a good job. Who was his center?
He had Carbonneau.
Right?
That was the best one he
And then
had,
you have Chris Nyland. on the right side.
And Kristen Island on the right side.
It was a
Right.
great combination, a great chemistry, and everybody played their role. That said, Mr. Tap, if you put Bob Gainey with Jacques Lemaire and Guy Lafleur, not sure it will work at the end of the day
Exactly.
for Guy
Exactly.
Lafleur, right? For me, this is what is right now Patrick Laine. Nothing wrong with Jake Evans and Josh Anderson. They are excellent players. It's just not on the right fit with the Montreal Canadiens at the four line. Can he fit with other line? I'm not sure. He did not work with Kirby Dak, even Demidov. The defense is bad. That's the problem right now with Patrick Laine with the Montreal Canadiens. He tried to accomplish a job does not work, and he played all year long with Josh Anderson, Jake Evans, guys. He will not score 20 goals with that line. With that
Yeah.
line. Now,
Look at where he's at right now.
PK, power play for Patrick Laine. He played on the unit number 2. You limited his time on the power play. So right now, what you do right now, the Montreal Canadiens completely attached and exactly the Patrick Laine. He gave not the chance to produce as supposed to be in NHL, a great scorer in NHL. Nothing wrong. Don't want to blame anything here. I'm not negative, but that's the reality behind that. And because he played with the right defenseman on the power play, it's harder to Patrick Laine to get a pass for Noah Dobson. He tried to feed him, but it's not easy because you're right to go to the left side. It's not easy. You have to turn your body. That said, the only pass you can get good is about even the middle. But when you are opposite side, you have to be a great pass to get that part. That's the problem with happening right now with Patrick Laine on power play. He carried a $8.7 million. If player better, younger, faster, at the system what the Martin St. Louis want to apply, unfortunately, Patrick Laine does not fit in the system of Martin St. Louis. Nothing wrong with Patrick Laine. It's just the game is fast, and they will need looking more for the younger players with what they bring, and
Faster.
that gave the money, example, to Zachary Bodzik. He could become that kind of players, or another player outside the organization, Montreal Canadiens, or inside Montreal Canadiens. It's just what I see right now. I could be wrong, but I don't think it will be a good fit a long term with the Montreal Canadiens. It's nothing against the guy. It's a business hockey.
Yeah.
And Fleury Panthers, Mr. Tap, they prove it. They did it with Jonathan Huberdeau. When they realized Huberdeau, whatever he make a ton of points with Barkov, everything, but he was not a good fit to play him in the playoff for the future, and they had to trade him to get Mathieu Tkachuk. Montreal Canadiens, they're going to realize that the next 6 months, 10 months, 12 months, and maybe they will keep him at the trade deadline. I'll be shocked they trade him at the trade deadline because they will need him maybe on the playoff for this upcoming season, and that's okay for this year. But to give him, I think it's going to be a very difficult situation, and we have a goal for the Flyers, guys, with 5 minutes to go remaining against the Panthers, 3-2. So, Mr. Enortap, you know what I'm talking. Just get out. I'm going to check on the chat.
Yeah, I was just gonna add to that. Like it comes down to the fact that where's the versatility in his play? It just isn't there at this stage. And again, I agree with you. I don't want to dump on him as a player. It's just how does he fit into the Montreal current progression moving forward, and with what line? Like where does he fit here? You look at the fact that yes, he's looked a little bit better this year, especially with the 5-on-5. I get it that he's trying to do some back checking as well, but when you look at the stats right now, I know it's small sample set, but it's 3 games. He has 0 points to account for it, and he's at a -3. And as you said, he just does. There's no chemistry there with the players that he's currently with. So, you know, you got to make proper decisions that are right for the team. And right now, I would say he doesn't fit into the system. Even if he were to say, "Hey, I'll stay for $4 million," I mean, that's a great deal. I get it, but how does that solve the problem for Montreal? It doesn't. And you're not just going to keep a player on the bench to use him in specialized situations like a power play. It just doesn't make sense. The player won't be happy. The team is not happy because you're taking up space for somebody else that can contribute on a heavier base for the team, the TOI wise, and also defensively. And so they're hard decisions, and they're great decisions to have to make because it means that your organization is finally getting the depth and that it deserves. But at some point, you got to cut the umbilical cord, and I think that that's going to happen at the end of this year.
Now, great point about that. I agree with you. Like comment in the chat. Good night, Marco. And then Mr. Mazap, Freddie Freeman just hit a home run for the Dodgers, by the way. So we feel the same way. I think 90% people in the chat see that. They realize this. I think the time will tell us, and I think there'll be a good way to do that for the Montreal Canadiens a long term. For the Habs. Now, we got for Madison, we got Budzik, and we got, of course, Mr. Enortap, the Patrick Laine. Now, we like to do usually the Sunday night. We push this on the Monday night because of the situation. The last week, Montreal have 2 W, 1 loss, and 0. They have a great weeks overall. +2, I believe they are right now. I mix with other team, but I think they are +2 on the goal differential. Their opponent play is pretty good, 20%. We did not like what happened against Chicago, but still, I think it's pretty good. Resume of the week, last week, Suzuki 5 assists, Budzik 4 points, 3 goals, 1 assist, Kapanen 2 goals. During the week last week, Madison 1 goal. We have Kenan Cooley 1 goal. When the Montreal Canadiens, a Carrier have 1 goal, 3 goals. The performance of Tobes was pretty good. Montembeault was good. Overall, Montreal looking good. Now, I would like to hear from you. You little bit the recap of the week from what I just mentioned, and then I'm going to move on for the stood out of the player, everything.
As you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned Suzuki as well. He's up.
Yeah, at the beginning, 5 assists.
Five assists. So,
yeah.
You know, and obviously him saying that he wouldn't mind playing on the penalty kill. I mean, again, it gives you insight into the player and just the type of person that he is. But the only thing I would push back on what you said there, Coach, when you said Montembeault's looking good, I would disagree with that. With all respect, I don't think Montembeault right now is at the top of his game. He's making some bad decisions out there. Like he's not certain of his net. He's letting out a lot of rebounds, which has always been a problem. He has a hard time tracking longer shots away from the net. Some of those goals, especially Chicago when Rinzel scored, he wasn't covering his angle properly. He wasn't coming out enough. Like he's got to have the insight to see very quickly from his peripheral view who's around me, who's around this player that's carrying the puck right now. And if he's coming from the wing, I have to come out and cut the angle down. Like if you're standing too far into your net, then you give more of a view in terms of where to shoot the puck, and that's what I'm noticing in the 2 games that he's played. What's happened? Like players are picking corners on him. The Leaf game, when Riley scored, he saw that opening, top shelf. He was on his knees again before he needed to be, and it opened up that top angle, and Riley capitalized. With Chicago, the couple of goals, same type of thing. He's not covering the net properly. I think he should make himself bigger in the net instead of he's very tight. He's very tight and too far into the net, and that's going to be a problem. He doesn't use his goalie stick very well. He leaves the 5-hole open quite a bit. He doesn't poke check with his stick when he has the opportunity. and he goes down very quickly. So again, I've mentioned a lot of negatives there. I don't want to harp on that. I'm just highlighting them because I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the goaltender coach fault, because these sort of things should be highlighted to him, and that's what he should be working on, because he's got the talent. And if you think of where he was at when we picked him up off of waivers to where he is now, he has moved forward quite a bit and has helped Montreal. He's been on the Four Nations team. I think I think he's a good goalie. I just don't think he's playing the proper way right now. His technique is off.
I disagree.
Uh,
Again, Toronto, who did not cover the guy in front of the net? Albert Jekai.
it it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's how you if
Where
I
was the shot, Mr. Enortap, of Morgan Riley?
it was top corner. Why? Because
No,
Montembeault went
where is
down
coming from the shot?
right in front of the net
There you go. So you
with two
have right
goals.
now is goal or where it coming from in front of the net is a high danger scoring chance. The goalie make a save there. It's not a lot. It's because they are goalie right there. Yes, it's not perfect, but for me against Chicago, he stopped breakaway. He stopped a 2 versus 1. He kept Montreal in the game. The reason he did all those saves, this is the reason because Montreal get a point right there. That's the reason. I'm not saying it was amazing.
Yes,
My point is, you have a good game enough to keep the Montreal in the game when it was the big save at the right time. That's what you're looking for the goalies. It cannot be perfect. Of course, it cannot be perfect. But
no,
again,
but
the goal in front of the net, when Jekai lost the man in front of the net, you cannot do anything about that. If Jekai pick up the guy, he had no goal right there. He was just square right there, but the puck go through him. It's not like it was when you have the point where it was his problem last year, at the end of the year, it was the point shot at the blue line. That's again, but for all the goal he gave 5 goals in 2 games. He had 2 goals against 3 goals against Toronto, and 2 games on that one. On the 5 goal, he had 3 shots minimum in front of the net on the high danger scoring chance. For me, I disagree. The reason behind that is that's the reason I gave you that. Yeah, but not
eh,
like he did not rob any game. I know that he did not steal any game, but for me, he did enough to keep the Montreal Canadiens in the game against Toronto and against Chicago. He made the big save against Nazar, against Bedard, and he keep the Montreal in the game. That's the difference what I see for that one.
yeah, but the thing here, coach, is I get it. The defensemen and even forwards will make mistakes, but you have to have, as a team, you have to have the confidence that when a mistake is made, that the goalie's going to be there. He's your last stop. He has to adopt the proper techniques in order to be able to stop the
I
puck.
agree. What
You
he
look at
said,
it.
I agree
He's
with you. Like, but I
he's
think
got 20. He's faced an average of 24 shots on net, where he was facing 30 plus last year and the year before. His goals against, I think, is around 890 right now. It's not that he's playing bad, but he's not playing at the level that he should be for to be a solid number
I
one in the
disagree.
NHL
He
right now.
play at the level he
Yeah,
should be because he got
just
2.5. You have 2.50 right now. Of course, the goal again is set, but you have again a great GVSA right now. Now, what I said is
yes,
maybe not
but
on his
the
top
defense is
game, the
playing
second
better.
2 game. I can understand that. It's maybe not square, everything like that. I can say that. But for me, he did a good job for the Montreal Canadiens. That's my point behind that. That's why I
Just
tried to explain. He did a good
Okay,
job.
just watch the next few games he plays, and just carefully look at his positioning, and you'll see that a lot of times he's caught out of position. He's too far into the net. Like there's small little things that you will not notice, with the naked eye unless you're looking at them. All right, and I only say that because I've played the position, and I've been dumped on for doing the wrong things myself. So that's why I it's just what I see, and what I sort of bring up. I don't see the same problems with Dobesh right now. He's a little bit more unorthodox sometimes, But I definitely see that there's area of improvement for Montembeault, and that has to come from him.
Yeah. We have to move on with other things for last week. Any other things?
No, that's it. Let's move on to the next.
All right. So you have to go with your stood out players, with your obscure players, and the ones go at the office.
For all three games together, you think? Or do you want the last game only?
Go with the stood out, your obscure, and your
Yeah, but for the last game against Chicago or all
for
three
the
of them?
week, for the week, for the week.
For the week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start off with the obscure for me. And again,
Why you
I'm
shut the room,
liking
Mr. Enortap? Just kidding.
because that one's easier for me right now.
Just
I'm,
kidding.
I'm gonna give that one to Slafkovský. I think that Slafkovský is doing they're not things that you necessarily will see unless you look carefully, but he's doing a lot of little things properly, and he's getting himself into position to score, as we saw with that deflection that he wasn't credited with the goal, but he got himself into the right position. It could have easily been his, and he's also contributed offensively with the one goal he has. But he's been, in my eyes, he's been off to a good start in comparison to the last couple years. So I'll give the obscure to him. In terms of stood out, I'm going to go with the obvious one here, which is Zachary Bolduc with 3 goals and 1 assist so far. I think he's at a +2 as well. He's been just solid in every aspect of the game, and when a lot of people were mentioning, from the preseason, I don't notice him out there. If you recall, I said don't worry about Bolduc. He shows up when the time is right, and he's just pacing himself. You'll see that he's a solid player, and you're going to see it all year long, in my opinion. To the office. Well, I'm not going to say Montembeault. I don't want to get you upset there, Coach. I want to probably.
For which one you talking about?
To the office. I won't say Montembeault.
At the office.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't. I wouldn't put him there. I would say probably.
If you don't have anybody, you can send anybody.
Evans. I would say Jake Evans.
Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
Just sort of a reminder that I think he needs to be a little bit more involved. And unfortunately, since the time he signed his contract last year, we haven't seen the Jake Evans of old. I have complete trust that he will get to that spot in that position again, because it's the kind of individual that he is. He doesn't stop working, but he's got to make himself a little bit more available offensively, and right now he's not doing that. So, and I think, even I haven't checked, but I think his face-off, it might be slightly under 500 right now, under 50%. I'm not sure, but that's got to improve from him as well.
Good comments about many people in the chat. Watching, guys, Vladar looking good. Goalie for the Flyers tonight against the Florida Panthers. A lot of people have their own. For me, the stood out for Frederic is Madison plus Thompson pair for the stood out. Peter, Doc, Mose face off, bad pass and on the puck. Then we have obscure Macaliot, Madison, stood out, Bolduc, and the office Kirby Doc. Billy go with Kapanen, stood out for that one. Francis, welcome back. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't think Dak touched the puck twice Saturday, PLW. And then we have no one in the office for Luc Lafortune. Bob Goulet are going. Try to get any other one. Some people like New York job for that one for the week. Pete Martin, Bolduc, Slav, and Doc. on that one. Obscure for Luke Lavorton, New Hook. For that one, let's see, we have other people. PL, Budzik, Obscure Dobson, and Office Kirby Doc. On that one, here we go. So we'll give you a little bit and what's going on. For me, a lot of people mentioned their name, honestly. I have to go with Zachary Budzik. Scoring 1 goal is not easy, and scoring 2 and 2 games, that's pretty good. You know, he scored 3, and honestly, Mr. Enortap, he could score 4. The tip, the goal from Alex Carrier, he was involved in front of the net, right? You can get that one over there. And one time he picked up the puck behind the net to get the puck in front of the net. He had a goal. I think was the one for Slafkovský with someone else. 4 points. Great stuff for him. You can talk Suzuki. 5 points, Suzuki, and he's not starting yet. He's still on the neutral switch right now. That for me is the player for me for Budzik as a stood out for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, obscure. You have a lot of obscure players, Mr. Enortap, have a good job behind on that one. It's not fair for the goalies. If you play only one game like Tobesh, it's hard to get a trophy like that. I think Tobesh did a good job, by the way. That said, I have to go with a pairing defenseman. I have to go with Noah Thompson and Mike Madison. I think they did a great job, enough to be obscure. I think they really, that chemistry, they did a world championship. They show up this week. We see the range, the stick of Noah Thompson. I really like the week of Noah Thompson and Mike Madison together. So I'm going to go with obscure. I'm going to give them the stood out, not good enough to push out Budzik. And my office, guys, honestly, a week like that is really difficult, the first week of the Montreal Canadiens. I think, Mr. Enortap, I'm going to bring pizza at the office with some soft drink with water and some juice, or maybe some protein shake for the players. And we're going to make a video session, and we're going to talk about the special team for the Montreal Canadiens. That was bad, but I think it's time to look about overall and not point anyone yet. It's too early about that. And some people have a bad game, some have a better game, and I think it's flowing like this. So let's have a good party together, bring it there, show the power play, show the PK, and what we can be better for the upcoming week. Because it was not a perfect week, Mr. Enortap. If you think about this, it was not a perfect week.
No.
They did not play a game with 60 minutes overall. They have some kind of position. I will say to you, the line of Kapanen is the worst right now. And the Montreal Canadiens is the analytic number. Kapanen face-off is not great. If you think about this, like Kirby Doc is not great. Alex Newhook is not bad at 40, but it's not great. That line with Demidov, no chemistry, honestly. And I think it's hard to put one specific shot. This guy was very bad, Mr. Enortap. I don't think so. I cannot go there. Jake Evans, you can complaining about his game overall, but he still play a good PK, get his 57%
he was so solid.
face-off about that one over there. So at the end of the day, I go to other direction, and I know we said Coach gave us one name, but I think for the Montreal was pretty good on that side. So look, this is a great way for the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to hit the 10 o'clock, Mr. Enortap, the next couple of minutes. I'm going to switch this. A lot of people, sometimes they leave the building early. So let's see the prediction of the week. Then we could come back. I have other subjects for the Montreal Canadiens to finish the show the next 20 minutes. If you don't mind, everybody, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be awesome. Mr. Enortap, the prediction of the week for the Montreal Canadiens is 3 games for next week. And we talk about the Seattle. We talk about the Nashville, and we talk about the New York Rangers, and all the games are at home this week about that. So I already have a couple of people give me the prediction. You don't have to give me again tonight, but I would like to hear from you and other people in the chat what your prediction. I know you gave me, but let's see what you got.
Yeah, well, last week I went with 5 points. They ended up getting four, so that was close. I'm gonna stick to five again. I like their matchups. I know the Ranger games sometimes they haven't matched up as well as they could, but look at the Rangers right now. They haven't played as well as uh, many had anticipated. There's a couple players that have stood out there, but the rest is there's a lot of problems with the Rangers right now. The other two teams are like Nashville will be tough, but I think Montreal again being at home will come out victorious. So I'm gonna go with 5 points again, Coach.
Good point about that. I gave you 5 points. We have a few people knock it for guys. I have Jerry already, Pizza, Guy, Steven, run with 20. I have a 4 point. Coach, myself, David, Stan, Gab. We have Claude. We have Mr. Enortap. We have Sebastian. We have Rudolph at 5. At 6, we have Luc, D. PLW, Serge, Max Charette, Billy, Mac Elliott, Larry, Lavalley at 6. Eminem is at 4 for the upcoming one. Eminem, I'll give you that one. Eminem. Bob Smith, only 2 goal and 2 home game. I think of my the no goal. Steven, I got 5 points right here. Steven, thanks so much. Steven G. Remember that we're nobody at 3 or 2 point or 1 point.
Well, 3 home games, Coach. 3 home games, and don't forget the first home game. There will be a tribute for Ken Dryden as well at the beginning of the game. So if you have the opportunity to catch the ceremonies at the beginning, I'm sure Montreal always pulls off a great tribute to players, and I'm looking forward to seeing that since I had quite an affinity towards Ken Dryden.
Percent of that, if one person go negative about the Montreal game with 3 points, what do you think you could do that in the chat? If you think about someone could do that, like don't believe in the Montreal Canadiens, who do you think?
There's 2 of them, either Lucky or Luke.
But you nailed it, Mr. Tap. Luciano is not here, but Luc Lapoisson, he does not believe. He gave 3 points only for the Montreal Canadiens. He predicts they're going to lose the opening night. Tomorrow night against the Mammoth. They always be difficult, Montreal against the Mammoth. And Nashville, they're looking good this year, better at what it was last year. And we never know with the New York Rangers. That's
With the
on tap.
Rangers.
I expect a great home opening night for the Montreal. They're going to recognize Ken Dryden, honestly, passed away. They're going to talk about, I'm sure, the Edge Common and, of course, of the Bernard Parent for the Montreal Canadiens. I expect that one over there for sure. So we got that one. Guys, for the one thing I want to talk about this is the survivor pool. We're still alive on the survivor pool. Now he said, oh, Coach, I missed that one. I apologize. I was busy. Had too many cheese. I was something busy. It was the Thanksgiving. So what happening? But Mr. Enortap, you can join the Survivor this week. But we're going to put you on the bracket B. And we have already some people on the bracket B. We have Pete Martin on the bracket B. Lost. Billy is out. We have Ron with King is still alive, by the way. We have, Luke D is out. We have Larry Lavalley is out. Willie Snyder is out. We have James is out. And Peter August, they are all out, Mr. Enortap. They go at the bracket B. So if you did not participate yet on the Survivor, you can join us at any time during the week. It's one pick every Saturday. The Saturday, you cannot pick the same team twice. So again, you can join the bracket B, and then the people win this week, like Enortap, myself, PLW, A2. We have Ron with Kings, Roy. We have Yamo, and then we have one with the Tommy Myers. Got that one. You guys, we move on for next week, and we can lose one more time. So That's happening under that for who remember Jacquemin doing a handstand after making the Habs miss the playoff. So you're absolutely right about that. So that's happening, guys, for the Survivor about this. Not done yet. We have a couple of more things to talk about before we get out of here. How many of us make it? We have, I think, 8 did it. 7 didn't do it. We have 15 people in the contest of the Survivor for the first time. And I think, Mr. Tap, the way we're going to look like right now, some people will be out, and then the contest will be restart in December, Mr. Tap. Completely, bracket will be out too, or the B. So
I would not be surprised.
expect this situation. Now, Montreal
Did
Canadiens,
you,
the Laval
Coach,
Rocket, Mr. Tap.
did you take Carolina as well as I did?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I thought we were out too. That looked almost like a legit goal there by Philadelphia, but they
A2
called
in
it
the
back
chat
in
said,
overtime.
he said A2, and the chat said, Coach, you lost. You're Survivor, you're already out. I said, oh my God, I'm out. I didn't pick, and then I checked the score after that, and then I realized, no, I'm in. They found a way to get that one, so I was really happy about to hear that for sure. So here we go. Laval Rocket, Mr. Tap, win last week, and they lost. They are 1-1. Joshua Roy, guys, 3 goals this weekend. Great performance of Joshua Roy. That's what we're looking for. That said, Mr. Tap, the best player on the ice by mile for both teams, the Manitoba and the Montreal and the Laval Rocket, was Adam Ekstrom. Mr. Tap. It was amazing,
Absolutely.
great weekend for him. Laval last month, Friday night, 4-1. Jacob Fuller, shaky, to be honest with you. And then Sunday, they went 5-2 with a great performance. The Kakkonen between the pipe for the Laval Rocket, but it was played better as a team. The first line have a great game. Dauphin, Belzile, and Farrell. Owen Beck scored a goal. On the negative side, and then after that, you can talk about the Laval Rocket. Florent Jacquet have a difficult week, Ken. Not bad, but lower was my expectation, and that's part of the game, the process. He played with Joshua Roy on the third line, and also we saw Tyler Thorpe on that line. The defense is really different like it was before. There will be a period adjustment, and they missed 2 defensemen, William Trudeau and David Rebecca. When they go to get back, both of them, Laval going looking better. No doubt the forward, Mr. Top, solid on the forward. So sharing with us, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree 100% that Engstrom was by far the best Rocket player there. Like every time he touched the puck, I think he continued to do positive things. And as we saw when he was here, like this guy is NHL ready, and that's a positive sign. No matter how they will decide down the road how to use him. To me, what really stood out was the fact that with the 2 absences there, Reinbacher and Trudeau, the defense was very susceptible to a lot of breakdowns, and that's especially in the first game, the one that they lost. Like they just couldn't do very much correct in their own zone, and a lot of rebounds were given out. And when you give a team multiple opportunities in front of the net, they're going to capitalize on it. The forwards, I would agree with you. With Jack, I would just say that that's normal, par for the course. I think he really had his hopes built on the fact that maybe he was going to make the team, and exert yourself positively, and build your hopes on that, and then when you go back, it's going to take a period of adjustment for him to just get back into his game, because that disappointment will go away, because I'm sure he's had a talk with the coaches here in Montreal, and he realizes that he's definitely a part of their future, but right now is not the right time at this stage right now. He might even be up at some point this year. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if there's injuries.
No, you're absolutely about that. I agree with you. I agree with Luke. Look, nothing negative, by the way, when I said Florent Jacquet, Mr. Tap, I was not like put him down or
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh, it's just normal situation. I just aim to reset, honestly, and I think that will happen the next couple days. Don't be surprised we're going to have a good weekend, um, but we'll see. I'm checking other game and NHL, Mr. Tap, but Chicago lead 1-0 against the Mammoth. Chicago. Mr. Mother is in the house.
Welcome.
That's happening, guy, for the Laval Rocket tonight. I want to share with you. Now, people ask us, um, Frederic talk about Mazar was not able to follow up on his good camp. Maybe he is in the wrong chair. Honestly, he did not look bad Friday night. I did not see the full game Sunday, Frederic. But with Davidson and Beck Friday night, that line was really off. Friday night, Mazar was maybe the best player of that line. We talk about disappointment, Mr. Tap, with Jekai, like we said. Davidson have another very good weekend, by the way, Mr. Tap. Davidson did not do well.
And I would throw Beck in that conversation as well. Like, I think a lot more is expected of him. And again, I think all three, their hopes went down when obviously they didn't make the team. Even if you knew if you saw the writing on the wall that they weren't going to necessarily make it, I think you build up your hopes a little bit, and then it takes a while to sort of adjust. We saw it. Was it last year or the year before with Logan Mailloux? When he went down, it was the same thing at the beginning. He didn't start off well, but then he really turned it on after that, after about 4 or 5 games. And he, turned out to be one of the best defenders for Laval.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I agree with you. So we have to wait a little bit more. Mr. Mother, welcome back with football, 21-14 for the Falcons. Buffalo are losing right there. David, someone said about Engstrom plus 40 for this one. So, look, Laval will be now the pipeline, guys. On the weekend, you have the NC is on, the CHL, the Canadian Junior is on, the player on the European side is on. We have a couple of players looking good. Michael Edgemus on top, 2 goals again Friday night, 0 point Saturday, but still now 9 point and 4 game with 4 goals, 5 assists. Very good performance of Michael Edge. Mooney have 1 assist, but he scored on the shootout, by the way. Good performance for him. And NC, otherwise, Logan Sawyer have 1 point. Quiet for Sam Harris, no point for Sam Harris on this. Then you have other players. Philip Eriksson, Mr. Tap, is on fire this year. 14 point and 11 game. You have a game this weekend, 2 goals, 1 assist. For Philip Eriksson. You have a couple of points like this, 1 point, 1 assist, like Middlestad or Prats, but nothing like huge. Prats scored goals on the week. But then on the European side, KHL, Zarowski play. The last 2 games, his time diminished, and he set him down for the 3rd period on the bench for the KHL. That said, Volankin, Mr. Tap, great performance for Volankin. Win his first W in the KHL this week. So that's great to hear that for Volankin. Kunishkov have 2 assists yesterday, 6 assists this year. They have no goal. Kunishkov looking good also in KHL. Sobolev, nobody talk about Sobolev, guys. This is a player who was drafted by Marc Bergevin a couple of years ago and looking good in the KHL, got an assist this week. He's hanging there. There's a kind of player we don't know. He's not going to be with Montreal for the next 3 years if he's coming. Compared to Kosenko, Kosenko is out. He's playing out on the Slovakia League on that one. Kenin is back. We have an injury playing the VHL. So that gives you a little bit of resume. I don't know you have specific player I forgot or you want to talk about.
No, I think you hit on the majority of them, Coach. I think some of them have gotten off to great starts, and that's good to see.
Did Florent get an assist? I don't.
No, I don't think he did.
I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
so.
I could be wrong. I don't think so. Logan Sawyer, I'm talking about. Look, if you ask it that part over there on that one. Volenkin, my dog, horse, and Mike Elliott for the Montreal Canadiens. You're absolutely right about this. Roger Bouchard talk about Tyler Top. Not a bad week, Tyler Top. I'll be honest with you. Again, Tyler Top, first game in the American Hockey League this year. They played a couple of games last season, by the way. But he played with Condoda, new player, new center for the Montreal at the bottom four line, Condoda. By the way, I forgot the left one. Luke Tuck, I believe. Yeah, it's Luke
Yeah.
Tuck. So chemistry is not there, but I didn't see Tyler Top like bad, like very bad. So
No, he didn't have any points, but he wasn't out of place. I thought his forecheck was quite good, but I didn't. To be honest, I didn't see both games. I just saw the one that they lost in, so I would have to look at the other one as well to give a fair assessment.
I agree with you, of course, for the Montreal Canadiens. RG Calabro go with 6 points for the Montreal this week. What are you looking for this week? 3 games right now. Let's go a little bit more deeper about what you see against Seattle Tuesday, Nashville this week. Do you see some change of the lineup? Do you see what will be the rotation of the goaltending this week?
Yeah, I mean, the more general answer, coach, is I'm looking for consistency. I thought in the 3 games that they played, they did a lot of things right. So I look forward to them continuing that. I thought that their defensive structure was not bad at all. Yes, there were a couple breakdowns as we discussed earlier, but overall in the 3 games, I thought that they were quite sound there. Um, it, to be more specific, though, I would say you probably and it's hard to do when you bring into the picture more players that are not new to the team and you disrupt the previous chemistry. I'm looking at the power play, and that game against Chicago, even though we won, I mean, it could have been over a lot quicker. I mean, you had 10 power play goals, or I wish 10 power play goals, 10 power play opportunities, and they still scored on 2 of them. So that's 20%, which is not bad. They currently, I think, rank either 10th or 11th in the league on power play. So it's not bad, but I think the potential for the power play is so much more. And if you can capitalize with your special teams, especially the power play, then you can dictate the game to your opposition for the most part the rest of the way in that game. So it makes it easier. It makes mistakes that are made more palatable because you have that comfortable lead to play with. So I'm looking forward to a little bit more consistency overall with the special teams. Um, and yeah, that's about it. The fact that they're at home, I think that should be an edge for them over the next 3 games. Do I anticipate any changes? Uh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say no right now, at least for the first game, the home opener. I still think Struble is going to be sitting and probably Jack I will be playing. I anticipate Montembeault in net again to start off the home game. Um, and I don't see Veleno coming in the first one. So I think the next game it's going to be status quo. Like they're going to look at the fact that they're pleased with the 3 games so far. So why disrupt it?
Yeah, good point about that. I agree with you. For the Montreal Canadiens performance this week, what are you looking for? Montembeault, Dauberge, Montembeault, my prediction for the goaltender, Mr. Enortap.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sebastian, good night, buddy, by the way. And thanks for everybody. Don't forget, please click on the likes. Now, I answer for you guys about Owen Prats playing the first pairing with the Bradford and the OHL and the junior. Prats right there. Now, I think for me, he will not change his lineup until an injury happening, in my opinion. Until then, I think he's still there. if the Montreal continues to play well, Mr. Tap, I don't see any modification here. And I
Yeah.
think that would be the way it should be that way anyway. Uh, it's not fun for Trouble. It's not fun for Joe, but I think at least someone remove himself out of the lineup with really an injury or bad performance. I don't think so.
Well, that's the key, right? If you start seeing prolonged droughts by certain players or mistakes that are made, I mean, it would only service them well to try to bring in, Veleno at some point. I think he offers you more versatility at different positions. He can play center, he can play the wing, he can play as high as the second line. It's even though it's not necessarily warranted. But he's definitely good on the third and fourth line, especially the fourth. He gives you that energy, coach, and then that's something that I think we have to see. Like when we talk even about a fourth line, going back to our where does Line fit in? I mean, it doesn't fit into your traditional type of fourth liner, right? That brings that energy and that a little bit of physicality. Whereas somebody like Veleno uh, uh, does more so than Liney would in that spot. The unfortunate thing, coach, in my eyes, is the fact that it's a young player that is sitting down right now in Struble. I hate to see that. It's one thing when it's a veteran or somebody that is maybe not a deep part of your future. Like if this was David Savard, it'd be a different story. But to see Struble sitting right now, it's unfortunate because he needs the development, he needs the reps, he needs to be in game situations so that he can raise his own confidence and also value to the team.
Yeah, you're absolutely about that. I agree with you. I don't think any chance for right now. We want the A2. Thanks again for the kind of word. A lot of people expect maybe some change, but I don't think so. What happened for the Montreal Canadiens for upcoming week? We have a couple of people, Mr. Tap. I want to talk about this. Look, talk about plus 3 point. Yeah, 1 and 2. The people that don't expect Villeneuve to go in yet. Thanks again. Et to Maurice Robillard. That's Maurice Robillard is in the house. Welcome back for that one for the Montreal Canadiens. For me, Mr. Tap, what I really like this year is not they change a lot of the system, but they are more active. Their speed, they are faster, I believe me. I think they are more faster than ever see. The puck movement is excellent from the point. Thompson, Hutson, and Madison. They are more aggressive. They play better for me at 5-on-5. It's not
Yes.
perfect. I would like the beginning of the game start better. They gave the first goal against Toronto and the Detroit last time. But I think overall, they have a better team on the 5-on-5 compared last season. They have better chemistry. And now you're not only the line of Suzuki, but you have the line of the Doc, Bodzuk, and Gallagher doing well. You have the line of Kapanen, Demidov, and Yuhuk. Whatsoever the offensive is not there, they still create chance. And you still have Jake Evan and Anderson. But for me, it's really the defenseman make its friends on the
Yeah.
game. And we don't talk yet, guys, about Lane Hudson, where he have good game, but not the Lane Hudson we saw before last season.
No, and hopefully, with all this contract stuff behind him, not that that was maybe the cause. I know some people have made comment to that. He's distracted. I don't think it was necessarily that. To be honest, and this goes in line with many sophomore players the following year. I mean, the book is out at sometimes in terms of what a player tends to do, and they have video footage and they try to adapt that to the game and stop a player that is of his caliber. But the thing is, he's so talented, Hutson, right? That he just has to overcome that. He has to be a little bit more innovative and try not to overdo it in terms of what he does, and you'll see that things will fall into place.
Welcome back, Mr. Triple W. By the fact, I was thinking about you. I said, did I see Triple W tonight? If you can give us your prediction of the week for the Montreal Canadiens, Triple W, how many points you think Montreal is going to get? That'd be great. A lot of people talk about Hutson, about this. Hutson admit today it was on his mind a little. First big contract would be excellent too. I'm sure. I like the way we close the gap early on the defense. Other team have a hard time get out the red line, but that comes with risk. Great comment. Someone talk about the transition a little bit early. I think it was Bob or someone else talk about the transition. But great comment, Frédéric. I talk about this at the beginning of the season about the system Montreal Canadiens and the mindset of Martin Saint-Louis and Stéphane Rabidez to the players. When you lose the puck, Mr. Enortap, you already switch on the defensive mode. And for me, they want the defenseman pinch a lot on the board, on the offensive side, and you can see always a F3 go back high. They really pay attention to that one over there. And I like sometimes they rotate 3 players at the top of the blue line. The goal of the Kaden Coley guy start with Cole Caufield. It was at the blue line. It was at the top right there. On the top right there to get the pass and from Lane Hutson, and then he showed the puck. So I like that situation for the Montreal Canadiens for that. Let's not forget that we have quite a few players just learning Martin Saint-Louis system and play with the new lightman. Yeah, I agree with you about the chemistry for the Montreal Canadiens overall. That said, Mr. Enortap, I think also this is going to be interesting to watching the power play this week together. If you have some kind of modification or not, Claude Richard is in the house. Claude, welcome back, by the way. Thanks for all the like we got so far. What do you think about Doc after 3 games, Mr. Enortap?
I'm not disappointed. I think that his speed is good. I like the fact that he's keeping up with everybody. He's trying to get himself into proper position a lot of times, but he's not. He hasn't been as successful as I thought he would be because he looked a little bit better in the preseason, to be totally honest. But the face-off not there, so that's a bit of an issue that I think he still needs to work on. Physicality could be a little bit more. I know he's not necessarily, a physical type of player, but he does get involved and he does use his size, from what we've seen in the past. So overall, I'm not horribly disappointed, but I'm also not 100% pleased with where he's at right now. I think that he could do better.
The good news, Mr. Enortap, he's not hurt yet.
Yeah, well, that's always number one.
Right? That's the first one yet. Yeah. So, joke sideways, not a bad overall. I think he's faster, I believe, like he was before. I could be wrong here, but I feel like he's faster.
Yes. And he seems more confident. He seems more confident of himself.
And I think Martin we take a good decision to put Doc and Gallagher together. I think that's helped him.
Well, with Gallagher, like he brings the dog to the fight, right? Like
yes, exactly.
And it's a good influence on Doc.
Yes. I think this is a good thing about this. And yeah, Bolduc produced that line. Have the second best Corsi and XGF for the Montreal Canadiens after Suzuki, Caufield, and Slafkovský. So for me, I think this is a great to see Kirby Doc. And again, he get a little bit involved during the week. He did a couple of good play. I think we cannot be too hard on him on this moment. I think for me, we have to wait a little bit more. But that line, it clicked. That's the good news for the Montreal Canadiens. That clicked. If you can increasing his level of the face-off, Mr. Enortap, that would just bring more on that line. That would helping them for the Montreal Canadiens, of course, on this one. I want to finish this. We have 6 more minutes. We're going to finish with that one with them, Mr. Enortap. I want to hear one thing from you. Yes, A2 is funny. You talk about the Dvorak scoring empty net. Emil Enemel scored today for that. Mr. Enortap, two
Dvorak.
things. First of all, Slafkovský, you talk about him a little bit early. What you like about Slafkovský, what you would like him to improve a little bit more for his first week?
I want him to continue to be in front of the net. Like his positioning is solid there. He obscures the vision of the goalie. Like we saw that in the game-winning goal that was scored. I believe it was Gooley. He was there. I'm not fond of him being on the dot and on the wing. He doesn't. His release is not quick enough. If you compare his release to somebody like Zachary Bolduc, as soon as Bolduc gets that puck, it's on the net. And with Slafkovský, that's not the case. A lot of times he's adjusting and he's trying to work it to a position where it's more advantageous for him. But in doing so, he's also giving the goalie the opportunity to shift over to the side. So that part there, I would like to see him more in front of the net rather than on the wing, trying to go for one timers or whatever the case might be, shooting from the periphery, because that's not his game. That's like he's more effective when he's in front of the net, deflecting pucks, obscuring the vision of the goalie, getting in the face of the defense and tying them up. And it opens up that shot from the blue line as well, right? Which I think we're going to start seeing from guys like Dobson, Matheson. We saw a couple times even Jack Eye put a couple pucks on the net from there, and of course Hutson's been working on that all summer. So I think he's going to play an invaluable role in that regard.
Great point about that. I think for me, Slafkovský have a good week. He still takes some bad decision for option passing or shooting the puck, everything like that. He moves his feet, more physical, less like he was last year, but he's still doing well. And of course, his shot per shot, it was pretty good. 10 shots on the net this week, the most with the Montreal Canadiens with Bolduc and someone else. I forgot the third one, Mr. Enortap. But I think I'm happy about the week of Slafkovský on that one. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 goals. He did not get any point, but because of what he did and make that
Yeah.
goal. We have a couple of questions. What is Doc face-off percentage? I believe is at 32.5% for Kubidak, but I could be
Sounds right.
wrong by approximately a couple of percentage, but is below at 40%. So I think Kapanen was at 30. I can look again, but I think it was at 30, and Doc at 32.5. I like how Slafkovský is just physical enough to not get called again, like a goalie goal about that one. You're right for sure, Frédéric, about this. Mr. Enortap, finally, last one for you.
Let's go.
Just want to say hi to Mr. Triple W. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. If you tell me the prediction of 32 exactly, Frédéric gave us Mr. Enortap. So I was pretty good on the percentage for the Montreal Canadiens for that. For Montreal Canadiens, 3 players. We don't know clash, by the way, tonight. 3 players at 0 point. Laine, Anderson, and
Yeah.
someone else.
And Evans.
Evans. Which one does not have? Who's going to get the first point between 3 of them?
Oh, that's such a random question, Coach. If it's a power play opportunity, I would have to say probably Line, but um, I'm gonna go with Evans. I think that even though I I sent him down to the principal's office there, I do believe he's a lot of parts of his game are still okay. It's just that he hasn't incorporated or hasn't had the opportunity to incorporate his offensive capacity yet. So I'm going to go with Evans. We'll get the next point out of those 3 players.
Um, Slafkovský or power play, what do you think?
I like it. Like I was saying before, I think Slafkovský in front of the net makes a lot of sense to me. It's an aspect that sometimes you worry when we say, okay, Caufield, Suzuki, and you put let's say Demidov there, and you got Hutson at the point, and whatever other forward you want to put at the blue line or on in a bumper position. You got to get some size in there. You got to get in the vision of the goalie, and I think Slafkovský does that.
Yeah, absolutely about that for sure.
Doesn't necessarily have to be the first power play unit, but definitely on the power play.
So, Tap, you gave us 5 points for the week. I'm right. You gave me 5 points for the Montreal Canadiens this week. Now, I want to finish the show, and before you leave, what it will look like, the 5 points. Win against who, and the tie game, they lose.
I'm going to say the overtime loss will be against the Rangers.
And that's all, Mr. Enortap. I can't wait to see you next week. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. No, they play Monday next week. So we're going to see, I think, Sunday night. Great to work with you. Thanks to join us on the specific Monday night of the Lane Hutson contract at 8 years. Was great to work with you. I wish you an amazing, great weeks. I can't wait to see you. Good luck for your fantasy hockey league. You play again who?
I think it's Roger this week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm
okay,
not sure.
And what is your what's your next trade?
I can't say. But it'll be a big one. I'll make it happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter August. You should.
Oh, cool.
What do you give to him?
It was a fair trade.
Do you give money to him?
Trade.
What do you do? Do you give a gift card to Peter August?
Oh, Coach, just trade. Trade with me. Don't worry about it.
All right, Mr. Enortap, have a great week, buddy.
Always a pleasure. Thank you to everyone. We'll see you next week.
Mr. Enortap, directly for Toronto with us this week, tonight. Thanks so much, Frederic Ouellet. I hope you're going to come back more often, Frederic. Like your comments in that chat. Was great to work with all of you tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We'll be back tomorrow night for the Montreal Canadiens. Play again the Seattle Kraken opening night for the Montreal Canadiens. And I can wait to be with all of you. I want to thank all the people in that chat tonight. Great to see all of you with us. And of course, the only reason we're getting to 10,000, maybe tomorrow.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Exactly what happening for all of you. Thanks so much. The super chat at the live stream before. Larry Lavalley, Mark Elliott. We want to thank Mr. Enortap, the co-host of the show. RJ Calabro, the news and update. Ron with Kings at the moderator, I believe. And all the people, click on the like. Thanks so much. I can wait to see you next game tomorrow night. Wednesday, we have Marco Larabé. He'll be with us for the Hump Day show. Monday night, Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Have an amazing, great weeks. Until then, be wild, be hell. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half or what? Someone said 2025. I know the music is over. That's okay. The Hockey Nation, the Ab Nation, and all the animal and the jungle of the Thailand. I want to tell you one more thing, sir. We love you, friends. Have a good night, everybody. Good night for all of you. Happy Thanksgiving for the people in Canada. And of course, bonne action de grâce pour les gens du Québec. Merci beaucoup d'être avec nous. Guy, Maurice, merci beaucoup. Luc Lafortune, Billy, Triple W, my friend, we miss you. David, Pete Martin, PLW, thanks again to be with us all day with Mark Elliott. Billy, of course, and many others were with me all day. So thanks to be with us. Until the next time, my friend. Booyah! Good night, everybody.